Welcome to game 5 in round 5. So looking at this board, I didn't quite see everything right away. I looked at Aqueduct and Labyrinth, and I thought the Aqueduct points would be important because there's no plus buy. But then I saw Baron as plus buy, and then I saw there was Duplicate and Highway, and then I started to piece together, okay, you can build something very powerful here with these city quarters, the highways, and the duplicates, and that's all you really want. You want 4 highways, minimum of 4 highways, and if you get 7 duplicates and have $4 in your deck, provinces go in one turn. Kinda what you want to build up to. You might not get all the way there, but that is the general idea that I eventually came up with. To do that, of course, your city quarter needs to be able to draw a lot. It means you have to trash, and the only trashing on the board is develop, which I thought was a bit unfortunate. They weren't particularly attractive targets to turn your estates into, but as the game went on, I realized develop is very good here. Develop is super good here. Uh, in tandem with the highway, of course, with the highway. So my open here is going to be develop into conclave, not develop into conclave. Yeah, develop into conclave. Conclave is silver. Um, most importantly, it's silver, and it might let me get to a highway quickly. Develop, of course, is important to trash. It's the only trashing on the board. Need that to make city quarter work very well. My opponent has 5-2, goes for a highway and a cellar. So that's reasonable things to purchase on 5-2 there. Develop comes without any estates, which is too bad. I was hoping to top deck a silver to have an even better chance of getting a highway, but no such luck for me here. For it is between another conclave. I considered Baron as well. Baron gives you a lot of money. You can get highways very easily, and it makes paying off debt from the city quarter quite nice because you getting 6 or 7 coin from a Baron on a turn is not entirely unexpected. But I decided to go for the duplicate first. So I'm hoping to get that duplicate on the mat as soon as possible, and ideally duplicate a couple of highways, really. The conclave also serves as some plus action, so um, there's some chance that the two pieces, the duplicate and the develop, will not collide. So my opponent sees both their buys right away here, the highway and the cellar, which is very good for them, and they pick up a develop on turn 3. So 3 again here, I consider going for a cellar here. I consider going for a second develop, but in the end, I decided to go for the silver, and the reason for that is because I don't have too much money in the deck. I trashed 1 copper out, money density is down a bit, and I want to get these highways, right? I want to get these highways, so I need money to do that. Put the silver, even though my plan was to develop into a silver, I didn't quite get there, but it doesn't mean that I shouldn't put the silver in the deck. So I put the silver in the deck, rewarded right away. Had that been a develop or a seller, I mean, maybe the seller would have worked out, but maybe not as well. So silver on 3 there to buy the highway, and we will buy the highway here. Does put 1 point across on the aqueduct, but like I said, we're going for some big turn, right, where we duplicate many provinces. So the aqueduct points are not that important. Labyrinth points are somewhat important, but still not really. Like if you're able to set up that mega turn and take all 8 provinces on one turn, who cares if you give up 24 VP in aqueduct and labyrinth? Alright, so highway for me, and my opponent now has a second cellar, which I found was too much. And in fact, a third cellar. So they developed into a cellar and bought a cellar, and I was not sure what they were gonna do with all of these cellars. Seems a bit too much, and the cellar reduces your hand size every time you play it. So here you see my opponent has 2 cards in hand. One of it, which is a develop, and they develop into another cellar, and that is the turn. That is the whole turn. So I wasn't quite sure what they were doing there with all these sellers. I do pick up one here because I will need one. It works kind of good with the city quarter, and I am considering getting a city quarter soon. Might be a bit early, maybe for this shuffle, but at this point with this draw, what am I getting on 3 again, right? I actually could get a second develop had I realized how important it would be, but I didn't. So I decided to go for a city quarter instead because I didn't see anything better to buy here. Anyways, my opponent really isn't doing much here. Really isn't doing much. Just gaining sellers and playing the one highway. Here on this hand, I will play the seller first to put the estate away. I am hoping to draw into my highway so I can get a little bit more cycling done, or perhaps the duplicate so I could put it on the mat. I will turn, I'll play the seller, discard the silver, I apologize. Maybe I'll draw into duplicate, maybe I'll draw into highway. That was the idea there, get a little bit of cycling, and then I'll top deck a silver or perhaps another develop with my develop play here. It's important to hit the estates, and I haven't hit a single one yet. So my opponent has a very similar turn to the last few here: highway, seller, 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 develop, and they trashed their silver, which was an important card for them. I felt it was their like big source of economy in the deck, and now they trashed it. Uh, they turn it in for a duplicate and another seller, and they pick up a city quarter here. And here's where I thought, oh, maybe this is why they're getting all of these sellers, because it'll up the action density for the city quarter. I thought, oh, okay, I guess I could see that a little bit. You still not, there's still not a lot you can do with a deck full of sellers and city quarters, but I guess I missed that idea, right, of using the develop to up your action density count to make the city quarters draw more cards. So I'm in debt at this point, but I'm slowly paying it off. Here would be a nice turn. Turns out to be a nice turn because I draw into the conclave. Here I'm able to both pay off my debt and duplicate down a couple of highways. So now I just need a couple more highways. This is a pretty good city quarter draw given the state of my deck, honestly. Wouldn't be surprised at all if it came by itself. But here we have a couple actions. It's like a lab or a lost city, so we'll take it. The seller, like if it was just city quarter and seller, I could have used the seller first potentially to maybe draw into a couple more action cards. Of course, making decisions informed by deck tracking. Anyways, now that the develop is working a bit better for me, I'm able to pick up a couple labyrinth points here. Like I said, they don't really matter. Right? The 4 points on the aqueduct again, who cares? I don't. I certainly don't. My opponent regains a silver here, which is very good for them. Their city quarter is out, and is just gonna repay debt, and they're gonna take a long time to repay their debt because they've trashed a few coppers, turned them into sellers, and they just have the one silver now. I'm just tracking the deck here to see whether or not I have another estate down there, and I do have another estate. That does kind of impact what I buy here, right? So I need to pay attention. And I got it right. 4 here is going to be another duplicate, I believe. No, 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 no. You don't buy duplicate here. You buy another city quarter here. So I do go for another city quarter here. Top deck in another develop. Now that I have the 3 highways in the deck, some tricks start to come up with the highway, right? So if I get all 3 in play, now I can develop my coppers into 4 costs, namely duplicate. So that is how I plan to get more duplicates into the deck, by using develop on coppers after I play my highways. I do need to get one more highway. I'll get it somehow, like worst case scenario, I develop the conclave into the highway. But I don't need it right now. I need it near the end when I want to get provinces. So again, my opponent is still paying off debt from that one city quarter because they're really suffering from economy here. Play the highway first because if I had drawn into the city quarter, I would have drawn 2 cards as opposed to playing the conclave first, leaving me with just 1 card in hand. Pay off debt here, and yep, third city quarter. I need it for the actions, for the develop. I need it for the draw as well. Develop plus duplicate needs actions, right? So I need to get those done. Finally, my opponent is out of debt. Does nothing though. City quarter, that was an excellent city quarter. You can't ask for anything better than that. I know there's one down in these 4 cards, so I'm going to use the seller as I plan to go find it and a couple action cards, draw up many things, find my highways, and now is where you start to do very interesting things with your deck. So now I could put down the duplicate, then develop, pick up, 2 copies of a thing that I develop. So down goes the duplicate. There might have been a nicer way for me to play this. Like I could have played my second seller here to go look for my third city quarter and drawn up everything nicely. I only realized that after I put down the duplicate, which is kinda bad of me. But oh well, it's done now. I have to deal with it, right? So I do develop my estate into a duplicate, call my duplicate to duplicate that duplicate, so I can put duplicates in your duplicate while you duplicate. Now I have 3 of them, and I'm gonna go look for them with this seller here. Again here I could have played a second develop and gain another duplicate and go and then maybe put that down as well. But I do give myself kind of a bad start there with just those 2 cards. Maybe my turn might be okay still, but hard to say. I'm gonna put a conclave on top just to try to help smooth things out. Um, Here I am sad turn, but I have to take it. But I suspect this will be my last sad turn, and I should be able to do some fairly nice things coming up soon. And I was right, this was my last sad turn because my opponent actually resigns in short order here. I guess like they just realized they weren't doing anything except buying sellers and taking ages to pay off debt. So we win the round 5 against Element Mario here. We move on to the last 8, the quarterfinals. So thank you all for watching. Thank you all for your support, your feedback, your comments, and we'll see how far we could take this.